For the third time in 4 years, we've got Clemson and Alabama in the national championship game. And as we sit here on Monday afternoon, we got Bama minus 5.5 in the total, 57.5. Andrew Avey here with Jonny OddsShark. So we just wanted to run a quick video here today in the event that you missed out on Jonny's capping and pick for tonight's national championship game between Clemson and Alabama. And then Jonny's going to break down some game props that he likes. 3 of those that bettors should consider for tonight's game. There's no shortage of props. But Jonny, first, talk to me about the line here and some of the action that this game has been seeing.
Yeah, kind of interesting here. This line opened 6.5. Was down to 5, back up to 5.5. Interesting here. It's been pretty split. Obviously, the early money on Clemson to bring that money down. And I think at 6.5, that is getting way too high. So not a big surprise. Then as we get closer to kickoff, probably seeing more Alabama, more favorite money roll in. Kind of a typical pattern for a big game like this. Early money on the dog, late money on the fave.
Right.
And but action's kind of split, what we're hearing from books here right now. The number that has seen the big move, that's on the total. And that opened at 60.5. It's down a field goal now to 57.5. Our buddy Aaron Kessler at the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas tells us there's sharp money coming in on the under.
Yeah.
A few other books reporting that as well. No surprise there either for me with 2 great defenses. I know the offenses are awesome, but not surprising that the bigger money coming in on the under.
So Jonny, for those that maybe missed the first video where we capped the game and you broke it down and gave us your pick, bring these folks up to speed, cap this game a little bit, and give us Jonny OddsShark's thoughts here.
Yeah, well, I'm on Clemson here, and I like them, and I think they're worth a go on the money line as well. I got them +6 here, and I like this number a lot. I think this line is just way too big. I think a lot of public money is going to be looking at this, and the casual bettor saying, isn't this the best college football team of all time with Alabama? And they don't want to get caught taking Clemson on a team like that if Alabama comes out and wins. I think that's the wrong way to think. I think that's a scared way to bet in this one. And I love Clemson to keep it close. They've got the best defense in the nation this year. They're #1 in yards per play. They're #2 in scoring defense. Alabama, great defense as well, but lately not as good. Over the last 3 games, they're allowing about 100 more yards per game than their season average. 100 yards, almost over 400 yards they're allowing per game here. Last 3 opponents scored over 21 points per game. Just seeing some cracks there in this Alabama defense, and that's really the reason why I like Clemson here. We all know about this defensive front that they've got the best in the nation. A lot of guys going to the NFL here up front for Clemson.
Yeah.
And I just think that is going to be the difference in this one. Much closer than a 6-point game.
Talk to me about props that have caught your eyes then.
Yeah, we got a few here. A few I really like. And what's the first one we got here, boys? Let's bring it up. Yeah, the Super Bowl. This one's kind of fun here. Will the college football championship game have more points than the Super Bowl? And I love the Super Bowl here. I think this one's going under with 2 good defenses here. I think it's definitely going under this 57.5 number. I think maybe even like a 24-21 score.
Yeah?
And then, and then the Super Bowl, I like, imagine if we get Rams-Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's points galore. So I think offense a little more important this year in the NFL. We've got some great offenses there. I think we're going to see a higher scoring game than what we'll see in college football championships.
Since the new college football playoff format, Jonny, there's been, I think, 1 instance of the Super Bowl outscoring the national championship.
Okay, well, that's why the odds are set like this. However, we have to look at this year, and we saw an offensive explosion in the NFL this year.
Yeah, it's true.
And this total is a little too high. I like the under. I think right now this is pretty good value.
What's prop number 2?
Prop number 2, let's bring it up here.
Tua. Prop number 2.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. You go ahead. You ask a question and you answer. It makes my job easy.
No, I was apologizing for my terrible pun.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm used to that. Will he throw a pick? And I say, yeah, this prop I absolutely love at this value, plus 120.
Plus 125.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, he gets a lot of public support and deserves it. Great player. Seems like a great person, too. But he's only thrown 4 picks this year.
4 picks, and Clemson tied for 72nd in the country with only 10 picks.
And that's why no interceptions is favored here. But his 4 interceptions came against the 3 best defenses they played this year.
Okay.
Georgia, Mississippi State, and LSU, through 2 against Georgia. And I think this Clemson team is the best defense he's played this year. So against bad defenses, we haven't seen Tua's best stuff. Makes sense, but that's why it also makes sense to take the dog money here, and I think he'll throw at least 1 pick.
Absolutely. And then prop number 3, Johnny.
Prop number 3, the first TD in the college football championship game. Feel like we have to do this one here a little bit.
Yeah.
And I have a great choice for you.
Oh, now you bring out the terrible puns.
I know, it's just awful. But
I'm used to it.
I'm going with Adam Choice here, 25 to 1. Of course, we could take Etienne or something like that, but that's no fun at 2, 3, 4 to 1 kind of value. Adam Choice, senior running back. He's done a great job for Clemson this year. Averages 7.4 yards per carry. He's got 4 touchdowns over the last 3 games. They put him in goal line situations sometimes, but he also can break for big yards, big gains, and things like that. So he only gets like 7 to 10 carries a game typically.
So yeah, he's only got 68 carries all season and has yet to score the opening TD for Clemson.
No, that's not true. He scored the opening TD for Clemson in the game against South Carolina. South Carolina scored first in that game, but he scored the first TD for them there. And it makes sense if you get to a goal line stand, maybe, and they feel like they're going to get a touchdown, go with him instead of Etienne. He's a senior as well. I think they'll feel comfortable on this big stage giving him the ball, and he makes things happen when he gets the ball. Not a lot of carries, but 7.4 yards per carry when he does get the ball. So 25 to 1. You like anything for that first touchdown?
I like Jerry Jeudy.
Okay.
8 to 1. Nobody in the game has scored the first TD more often than Jeudy, who did it 4 times for the Tide this year.
This year in college football?
In collegiate football,
wow,
Johnny.
that's awesome. Great
No,
stat.
I mean for Alabama.
Oh, for Alabama,
season.
correct.
8 to 1. I think it's worth a shot.
Huh.
Why not?
Yeah.
And I think Tua's out there 20 to 1 to sort of sneak one in to open the scoring. I don't mind a bit of that.
I don't mind that either because he's smart enough. He'll take what the defense gives him here. And another kind of interesting one is will it be defense or special teams? I don't think the odds are quite good enough, but Alabama is 4th in the nation with 5 defensive TDs this year, and that's paying 16 to 1. And they look for those opportunities. Last few years, they've been a great team that looks for scoring opportunities on defense. So that's another one that I was kind of thinking about.
I want to put this one out to you. What about Hunter Renfrow over 46.5 receiving yards in 2 national championship games against Alabama? Johnny, this guy has 17 catches, 180 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Wow. And books are hanging 46.5 here. I think it's minus 135-ish. So it's chalky there, and also plus 250 to score a TD anytime.
Yeah, this is kind of funny, right? When you look at this guy's season production, and then you're like 46.5 yards, what?
Yeah.
But it just shows you how seriously they're taking this guy as an elephant killer.
Yes.
Because he has beaten up on Alabama. He's the only person in the nation that can say that.
That's true.
Every time he faces Alabama, he beats up on them. He's got over 200 yards receiving, 22 receptions in the 3 times, 4 TDs, national championship winning touchdown against them. Alabama's like, this guy again?
Yeah, exactly.
And then the rest of the nation's like, who?
Yeah.
And so I think the Tide will make sure others beat him. I like the under. I think this is inflated. I just don't think Clemson quite needs him the way that they have. A great receiver, good possession receiver, and so who knows? And that's why he's been big in these games, because he's a dependable guy when they need some tough catches. He's been doing it, but I just think these numbers are way too inflated.
So we ran a Twitter poll over on @OddsShark asking which was the best wager for tonight's game, side and total. Let's have a look at the results on that. So we've got, Alabama minus 5.5. 36% of you think that is the best bet for tonight's game. Clemson as the dog, 34% over, 19% under, 11%. What's your reaction to that, Johnny?
Well, not surprising. That kind of reflects what the sides reflects what we're hearing from the books. It's kind of split action right now. So not a huge surprise, and not a huge surprise that Alabama has the edge here, the favorite in this game. Little bit of a surprise. So much love for the over here, where we talked about sharp money being on the under in this one, and that much love for the over. 2 great quarterbacks and 2 solid offenses, so I get it. I'm leaning under there. 2
great quarterbacks. A lot of hype around Lawrence. A lot of people thinking that, I saw something on Twitter today, I forget who tweeted it, but, quote, the best prospect of all time. Might have been Bleacher Report, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not too much for a hyperbole when it comes to this stuff. I feel like we can say that every year.
Yeah.
But my question is, do you want to bet against a man with this amazing hair? Do you?
This is the biggest narrative of the season. Is
really
your love
is.
affair with his hair.
It's just amazing hair. I'm just so jealous, as you can see from mine. So I don't know. The guy's a stud.
He is. He's a very good quarterback. It's going to be an amazing game. So thank you so much for joining us here for this quick little show around tonight's national championship game. Stick with @OddsShark and, of course, @Jonny OddsShark tonight on Twitter, as they'll be very active. So join in on the conversation and enjoy the game with the guys there. Also tune in, of course, Tuesday and Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern for the full Guys in Bet show. We're going to be looking at, obviously, the NFL playoff weekend ahead. We'll look at the Saturday games on Tuesday, tomorrow's show, and the Sunday games on the Thursday show. So best of luck with your bets. I hope you all win some money, and we'll catch you all tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern right here when we look at NFL. Thanks for watching.